No, folks, we're not talking sign language today. It's just to get rid of the lag before we start. Because apparently I'm cutting in and out at the beginning and end of programmes because of the lag before I've finished, or when I start the programme, I'm halfway through a sentence.
And the worst thing he did was this morning, and he truck Davy. It was a sentence mentioning me, and he came in halfway through it. Didn't even manage to get the full sentence out. That's dreadful.
Absolutely shocking stuff.
I was hurt. I was.
Aye. Yeah. Where's that tiny violin? I mean, you Stephen get this purple heart pinching, pumping fish. You can off and off. Anyway, folks, we're looking at the schedule and we're not going to mention much, but in the run up to this election, we're thinking about a wee bit more content because we've got a lot to cover. But we're thinking about it. It's going to be carefully coordinated with other YouTubers and things like that, because the amount of support that Two Davies has had since we hit the airwaves in Scotland and the wider UK and world, especially for other YouTubers, has been fantastic. And we're all trying to work round about each other's schedule. Hi, Reagan Wheat, fine example. And I dare say Solana Cat will be here somewhere soon.
Yeah, but also that means that people are watching us become the stars as well, because these people are watching around the world and just looking, are going to see all these comments.
The other thing is, the other thing we need to take into consideration when it comes to scheduling, folks, is we know that you, our audience, is a cross-channel audience with a lot of these other channels we're talking about. Yes. So it's not just as simple as saying we'll pick this time slot and go. You know, so we are looking at it for the run-up, and we're talking about run-up, maybe a couple of months when we start, maybe we'll see, we'll have a look. Maybe quicker. Don't know, we'll see how quickly we can arrange something.
We don't want to fuck up somebody else's parade.
Yes.
Simple as that. Because there's a lot of good vloggers out there, and we like them. We don't want to mess them up.
It's not just that, David. Our audience is entitled to get a wide point of views to come to the best opinions they can, you know.
Yeah, I want to do more. I'm now at a stage in my recovery where I'm now thinking I need to do more. I'm right like hell. I'm right to 4 o'clock in the morning. Can we not just do a bit more on the Two Davies? You know.
As I say, we'll have a look at things, because you know I'm quite a busy man as well, David, as you know.
Yeah.
You know, we've all got lives outside this, right? I guess we better get this programme underway. You know, the audience numbers are up. See the spanner, Stephen Banker's in. Thank you. Ginger Raff's is in. Last Braveheart. Jeanette Gilfillan. Eddie. Robert Bruce. Nathan McAllister. Once we scroll up, Jeanette Gilfillan.
I just love that name, Ginger's. I think that's wonderful. It really is, honestly. I'd love to know what the relevance of the name is.
Well, join Discord and come and join our chat groups. Yeah. All right, then you'll get to ask it yourself. Hi, Diane. Hi, Rosie. Yeah. Hi, Graham. Hi, Tina up there in Dundee. Hello, Mr. Kelly. Doug Coop. James Conley. Who else we got up there? Hey. Wee Bird's in. I think we've got Macy's now. Wonderful. Right, let's get this one underway. Big name in Scottish public life has passed away. It's been announced, David.
Yeah.
And that's Sir Kenneth Calman.
He was not a yeser. He wasn't technically for independence, but he still done an awful lot for our country.
And he did huge amounts.
Yeah,
so
he deserves our respect, obviously.
Yes.
Calman is a much loved period. A daughter, a person, and it's like she's the one that does the Bank of Scotland advert. Right, a Royal Bank. Is it Royal Bank or is it the Bank of Scotland? I forget which.
The Bank of Scotland.
Yeah, she also does travelogue type programs, and she's brilliant. She's really good to watch.
Susan Calman, she is very good fun to watch. Yeah. Yes. Now, anyway, Sir Kenneth has been involved in public life as a medic and an academic for many, many years. He served as Scotland's lead clinician, England's lead clinician. He was Scotland's head of oncology, England's head of oncology. He was a Chancellor of Durham University, later becoming the Chancellor of Glasgow University, but he became most famous.
That's what we are. The fact that he was the Chancellor for Glasgow University, and when you look at Glasgow University,
2019, 2020, yes.
You look at it and you think Glasgow is a huge uni for medical degrees, right? And it's like you can imagine as Chancellor at that time, it's like the amount of weight he'll have put behind the medicine department, right?
Aye.
So anyway, there you go. So
anyway, the reason why we all know the name Calman, folks, is because after the SNP came to power in 2007 with the first minority government, the state shit itself, and it was trying to slow down the push for independence. So the commission, Calman, or they go to the Scottish Parliament to commission Calman to come up with the Calman Commission. Now, the recommendations of the Calman Commission, of course, were butchered. But they did eventually, some of them come into being in the 2012 Scotland Act. The Calman Commission was then built on after the 2014 referendum lost by the Smith Commission. And that then introduced the 2016 Scotland Act to enact the Smith Commission. But Calman, Kenneth Calman, he was a huge person in Scottish public life. And although his commission was put in place to try and slow the march to independence by increasing devolution, it didn't increase it by very much. In fact, he only recommended that we get half control over income tax. As we know, the Smith Commission never gives full control over income tax. But he did he hand over the powers over other taxes like the Green Energy Levy and the landfill tax.
Yeah.
You know?
I think you've got to look at this thing about the British establishment. The British establishment's way of dealing with bad things that are bad for it, is if they've done something wrong, let's have a public inquiry, like the Chilcot inquiry, right? Where it lasts for years and people eventually get sick of it, and when it comes out, we all go, it's all right? And it involves a release valve, right? Same again, if they start off a commission like the Calman Commission, it's a release valve where effectively you say, well, we should go for this, should go for that, and eventually the British state comes in and goes, no, we're not doing any of that. We might give you this. That's it. It's a release valve. And it's like we in Scotland should be aware of that now and should do something about it.
Aye. As I say, but a prominent figure in medicine and academia in Scotland and the UK.
Oh, he has my utter respect. He really did.
He devoted himself to public life here in Scotland. For all he might know of being 100% independence, he realised that if they were going to curtail the drive towards independence, they were going to have to give the Scots more. And the hope that would satisfy them for another 10, 15 years before the push for mayor was again. So that covers Sir Kenneth Calman's testimony.
Professor Calman, you've got my utter respect, right?
Aye.
And even though you weren't exactly for independence, I'm sure if I sat in front of you, I could have talked you into it.
As I say, he was a huge figure in Scottish public life. But folks, he's famous for the Calman Commission. You all have heard of the Calman Commission. All right. Now, this next one made you and I smile, didn't it, David?
Oh, yes.
Now, this is the story of comedian Susan Riddle.
You don't know, you may not know the name, but we were talking about her and two of her mates just the other day. Carry on, David.
Now, Susan Riddle had to cancel her Edinburgh Fringe show called How Do You Sleep at Night? Because she and a couple of her pals took a transit van and drove it into Leonardo's Gate, small goods entrance gate in Crewe Road in Edinburgh. So there you go, folks. This comedian was one of the three women that drove the transit van into the Leonardo arms factory in Edinburgh, who are supplying arms to Israel.
Initially, when they were charged with terrorism offences.
Yes.
Because it was a Scottish anti-terror outfit that came in and blew and got them, right? Yes. But please carry on, Mr. McGuinness. This is rather interesting.
This is. Anyway, she appeared on Monday at our version of the Supreme Court. The court
No,
session.
it was just a sheriff court. That's all it was.
Just the sheriff court.
It was just a
Well,
sheriff.
she appeared in court via TV link, a WebEx. I don't know if you know this, folks, but there's a platform out there that judiciary is using called WebEx. So she's a WebEx link to the judge where charges were read out. And the charges were interesting. It was malicious
Mischief.
Malicious mischief, with a connection, with a malicious mischief with a terror connection.
Yes, terrorist connection, yeah.
Yeah, a terrorist connection. Now, folks, it would appear these people are either being linked to Palestine Action or are actual members of Palestine Action.
Yeah.
Because that's the only way you could throw the words on the end here.
Yeah, but you don't have to be a member of Palestine Action. You just have to say I support it. But therefore, what I do is a way whereby you can use those words and everybody knows what it's about.
Well, as I say, they're either a member, a supporter, or are being linked to through that statement. You know, but why can't she put on her Edinburgh Festival show, David?
Because she's not allowed to actually get into Edinburgh.
Bail conditions mean that she's prohibited from entering the city of Edinburgh.
Well, and remember, this is because she rammed, and it wasn't much of a ram. It was like if you're imagine it was a parking space you were in, and you went forward and hit the car in front, right? Effectively, that is the kind of movement that you're talking. We actually saw the photographs of it, and it's like it wasn't if the front of the van was all stoved in there. It wasn't. In actual fact, good bit of tea-cut would actually get all the marks out of it. Seriously.
Hair dryer to get the plastic bumper back into shape, you know.
So we know that. Right? Yeah.
Have you ever been to Crew Road and seen that facility?
No, I haven't seen that.
Well, the fence on the boot, it's just a fence on the boot. And the bit that they fired into was a small goods entrance.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But
the fact of it being, it was a company. The three girls that did it knew it was a company that was supplying weapons to Israel, right? And what they were doing was they were drawing it rather than standing at the front with banners or whatever, right? They just get picked up with the police, right? They thought, let's make a statement. Let's ram a van into these fucking gates, right? And at the end of the day, it's like they shouldn't be done for terror. The charge of malicious mischief should have been enough.
Anyway, so Larry's telling us no just that they're making guidance systems, David. They're also making wings, the fins for the missiles.
Yeah.
You know, and you mentioned an earlier video. I'll catch that video shortly, Sir Larry.
Also, it's part of the system that protects tanks. Why the tanks need fucking protection to begin with? Because you've got a line of tanks and they're all firing into fucking buildings where people are making eggs or whatever, right? Okay. And it's like, what are they going to do? They're going to pick the pan up and throw the egg at the tanks.
Well, anyway, David, this young lady's been prevented.
Sorry?
Anyway, this young lady who was nominated for the Billy Connolly Awards earlier this year has been prevented from earning a living by her bail conditions. But I don't know whether she took that into consideration before they carried out the stunt.
Well, she hasn't had. I mean, this is bail. It's a bail condition, so she hasn't finished being charged yet, right? But you can imagine that usually you would go in and you make a plea, and the judge would go, all right, providing it wasn't too heavy, the judge would go, 2 months in prison, or give me a fine of such and such, right? Because she's in bail, she can't run her particular friends.
She can't run her show in Edinburgh because of the bail conditions. Because the facility of the attack was in Edinburgh, she's been banned from entering the city.
Yet again, I have to ask, Mr. Home Office or Mrs. Home or Miss Home Office, one of the officials down there, I need them to come on to our programme and explain to us why Palestine Action, which they said were part of, Palestine Action, is been prescribed as a terrorist group when it is no such thing whatsoever.
No, it's no, it's a direct action group, David. That's correct.
Yeah.
But the reason why we thought we'd bring this story to your attention is we now can identify one of these women.
Yes. Yes.
So there you go, folks. It's just more than a coincidence.
It was a coincidence that we actually ran across the blooming the news as well at the time, because my national subscription seems to have run out, and it said take a national subscription for £1 for 3 months, right? When I actually did that, it came up my bank, they were taking £6.99. I thought, hang on, I'm a pensioner. What am I doing?
Hold on, David, this is important. We need to address this, because one of your fellow citizens here in Scotland has ventured down into that deep, dark, dismal disarray of a shithole in England. And you just be careful now, Kazzy. They've been known to support people like you.
Get underneath the chair in front, seriously.
Try and Mr. Riot's dear. Try and Mr. Riot's dear. Oh, sorry, you're going to London. The Met will look after you. We'll not be seeing Kazzy again, David.
Don't laugh at that one. Seriously.
See, we're getting lifted under the Terrorism Act. That's for sure.
The Met police will go, are you Scottish? Right, come with us, head. Come on. Well, they won't say it.
David, let's move on. The Scottish Governor General was on the tranny saying he's going to give Trump a warm welcome, just to inform us all that he's not meeting fucking Trump until later on the weekend. So he's not welcoming him at all.
It's like you get pictures of Trump coming down off the steps of the plane, and like the Governor General being there and going, Mr. Trump, there you go, right?
Aye, well, that gets funnier as we get into it, David.
He's not, right?
Right, anyway, he tells the BBC that the office of the Prime Minister and the office of the President work very closely together. And when he was asked about him, Streeton and Lammy putting a notion before the Westminster Parliament in 2019, claiming that Trump was a misogynist, a racist, and a xenophobe.
Yeah.
Now, Murray was one of the people who put this thing forward and voted on it. He was pressed on that by the BBC. And what was his reply, David?
He said, well, as Governor General of Scotland, I have to.
That's exactly what he said. It's my duty as Governor General of Scotland to meet foreign dignitaries when they come to Scotland. And you were like, well, fuck off, you wee shite. Hang your boat.
He's a wee shite. B, he's a fucking balloon, right?
And see the First Minister of Scotland
represent these people as quickly as possible, right?
So it's his job to meet foreign dignitaries.
The only way we can do that is if we take on board that, as they say in Scotland, time for independence, independence, independence.
But why you make such a fucking statement as the Governor General's, Secretary of Scotland's job to meet foreign dignitaries when they come to Scotland? No, it's fucking no Murray, you wee twat. That's the First Minister's job.
Do you know he's actually got a Union Jack suit?
Aye.
You seen it?
I've seen it. I've seen him in it.
Fucking idiot. Fucking idiot. Yeah.
But imagine telling the BBC he's going to give Trump a warm welcome, and then 2 minutes later in the conversation said, no, I'll only get to meet him at some point over the weekend.
But don't forget, it was him that visited Fastlane a week there. Putting 250 million for new
cars. General's doing his tour.
Right?
He's doing his tour trying to convince us all that Scotland's two governments are doing its best for it.
Yet again, just like this one, where he made a motion against Trump and what Trump was, right? Previously to him having that position, he was totally against Fastlane and everything to do with it. Nuclear subs a lot, right? And then as Governor General, he ends up in Fastlane going, this is wonderful. New carpets and curtains for everywhere in Fastlane. That's where that.
So Larry, do you know, we've had YouTubers here in Scotland with big channels, celebrities, pro-independent celebrity YouTubers had their channels shut down for alleged copyright hits.
Yeah.
Once this stuff's out in the public realm, it's not supposed to be fucking copyright.
That's right.
But that's what's happening, so Larry. So you've got to be really careful. That's why David now put very little up.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to hear that, Larry. I'd love to have seen that video. He's a wee turd. I thought that was worth putting up.
Robert Bruce, who's a bit of a mate, he's put up, Mr. Milligan, why don't you get a T-shirt with independence on it? I think that's a dashed good idea. Hey, what? Hey,
oh, hold on, David. You need to put the Two Davies.
Yeah. Say, that's fine. So have I got your okay in that?
Aye, go.
Partner in treason.
And I'll change the eyes and the prize to Two Davies one and all. Okay.
Right, okay.
Right then, let's move on. So, turmoil in the Green Party, David. Now, Green Party official to quit over anomalies in the STV voting system for the listing.
It's not voting. It's not where people have voted into the system. It's the counting
of the system.
It's of the system that's so. If you look at any vote anywhere, right, you don't have to mess about with people actually going and vote. Although it does happen, right? You mess about with how it's counted. Same as the 2014 referendum. The vans that carried the blooming voting, the ballot boxes, went over the hills and far away. Why are they doing that? Should have been counted. Should have been counted where they were, and then that number pushed on to a central office.
I could have swore I plugged all these fucking rabbit holes before this programme started.
Stop it, please.
Stop it. Anyway, let's get back to the facts, shall we? Kate Joster had initially gave her approval of the vote, but has since then stated she had missed an anomaly in the count, throwing into doubt the results in several regions, including Glasgow, where Patrick Harvey just narrowly kept the first place on the list. And
anyway, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? What's the upshot of this? Logically, what's going to happen?
The upshot is there's plenty of time, so Kate Joster will be replaced as a party official running these things, and they'll rehold the vote.
Yeah, there you go.
We were getting to that bit, actually. That's the way we were summing this one up. Thank you very much.
Just thought I'd give you a segue, that's all.
Sometimes this is hard work, folks.
Oh, fuck's sake. If I wasn't hard work, you wouldn't be half as effective, and you know that. I keep you on your fucking toes because I argue you all the time.
Aye. Now listen, here's Stephen Kelly's suggestion for a T-shirt. Eyes on the independence. Yeah, no bad. That's no bad.
No, it's like if you imagine if it was Labour that was putting up a slogan, right? The thing, time for change. Change. So one word, it struck people. It's wrong, but it struck people. That's part of change, right? So what I'm saying is, keep it as time for independence.
Aye, because let's face it, the time for makes it a three-word slogan a wee bit long to catch on. Because let's face it, down that road they love their three-word slogans, don't they? Get Brexit done. Time for change.
Yeah.
You know, any more than 3 words and they get a wee bit confused sometimes, you
know. No. It's not. It's actually a rule that applies to all human beings.
Aye. Right. I suppose we better move on. We're getting there off here, Matt. Home Office eventually sees sense by the deployment of additional officers from England and Northern Ireland to ease the strain on daily policing in Scotland over the weekend with Trump's visit.
Let me finish that for you. Home Office also sees sense in presenting the bill to Police Scotland
That's correct. That's the interesting thing, folks. No use to berate the Home Office and the Vet Cooper for no having a plan in fucking place. Normally, when there's a big security operation like this, it draws in forces from all over the UK, and the Home Office foots the fucking bill.
That's right.
Not this time.
This time it's
down. It would appear Mr. Swinney was wrong. It would appear Mr. Swinney was wrong. It is going to put a strain on the resources of the Scottish Police. What's interesting about that, David, is the Scottish Police are the only police force in these islands to pay VAT.
Yeah.
And the claim is because it's a single organisation.
What a load of shite. What a load of shite.
Yeah,
what a load of shite. Seriously, what a load of shite to actually say you pay VAT because of X, Y, Z. If one police department pays no VAT, they all pay no VAT.
Yep.
End of story. End of story. And it's like you kept on. It's also you've got to look at the thing of the bills, the electricity bills that Scotland pays, right? Why do people of Scotland pay more for the electricity than any other part of the UK? That's fucking wrong. Why are we putting up with this? Time for independence, independence, independence.
Hey, fucking Brandon's my job, all right? Brandon's my job. Get some lessons before you start this carry on. Anyway, why has a vet Cooper decided that Police Scotland should bear that bill? That's simple. Labour are still sure of becoming the third party in Scotland as opposed to being the only party of Scotland.
That's right. Yeah.
So, although the Tories were punishing us for different reasons, just for having the brass neck to ask myself a question, Labour are punishing us for a different reason.
Yeah.
But, as I say, Police Scotland will have to bear the bill for this operation. And
but also
I think Police Scotland should be taking the Home Office to court over this one, because it'll be the first time a single police force has bore the bill.
It's coming to the point when I expect John Swinney to get his fucking balls in place and make sure he has a go at everybody on this one, on overuse of our police, on the fact that they're getting charged for something that the Orange Blimp, we'll call him that at the moment. We have a new improved name for him, right? We'll get there. We'll get there, right? And seriously, but this guy's coming to look at 2 golf courses, and in between them, looking at 2 golf courses that he owns, right? He might meet with somebody. And
the first man he's meeting with Calman, he's meeting with the Governor General.
Exactly. What are we doing? What are we in Scotland doing? We should not be allowing this. Trump should not be allowed to get out of the airport. End of story. End of fucking story.
And by the time we'll finish the investigation into how he financed the fucking courses, he might not be allowed back in Scotland. Unless, because he might be facing criminal charges, depending on how the funds were raised.
Also, the Epstein thing is rather interesting as well.
That's really interesting, isn't it? No juice is his base raging at him. He's now got the courts telling him he's going to release it.
Yeah. And also he's talking about the fact that he used to run beauty pageants. And as a person who ran the beauty pageant, he was allowed to go in and see all the girls naked. And you think to yourself, hang on, this guy isn't just like an idiot from America. This guy's a fucking president. This guy's a president of the United States. He's a president of one of the major countries in the world. And sake. Anyway, carry on, David, right?
Thank you very much. Well, David, let's move on, shall we? Keir Starmer to sign Indian trade deal without it ever being debated in the Commons. What the fuck happened to your democracy? Or their democracy?
Statutory instruments for you.
Correct.
He's taken statutory instruments one stage further. So in other words, a statutory instrument gave him or one of the cabinet the power to say, right, we're going to do this and to do it, right?
Yep.
Taking it one stage further, is when you've got a country that has maybe got a trade deal to put together, right? You've got the ability now as the government of the day to actually go, yeah, we'll do that, right? And that then a handshake and the contracts are passed between the two, and that's it done. It's a bit like the fucking Tricare Union. And what happened was that Queen Anne came up the road and went, right, we're doing this, right? End of story. Don't need your blooming your gang of rogues, right? We're just doing it, right? What would happen then? Well, in actual fact, even though it was done with the gang of rogues, right? Then we still had riots in Scotland, right? We should be having riots now.
Jesus, Davey, that was Guy generous for that fucking rant. Thanks, mate.
We are not worthy. We are not worthy. Thank you, David.
Well, it's interesting what David, and I mean, this is interesting. I mean, there's other things that have happened using these stats of the instrument, like, of course, the joining of the Trans-Pacific Trade Partnership.
Yes, that's right. Yeah.
The signing of the US trade deal. The handing over of UK defence policy to the United States.
That's right.
The handing over of UK foreign policy to the United States.
In actual fact, you could go on for the rest of the programme and all the things that the British government have done on our behalf without our behest.
And without consulting our representatives.
Yes, that's right.
Ever get the feeling that we are no longer living in even a semi-democratic state?
Democracy is gone. Democracy is gone.
And even here in Scotland, folks, we are playing democracy because at this point in time, a vote for representatives in the Scottish Parliament means very fucking little. Because everything that the Scottish Parliament does has now, because of the previous Tory government and continued by the Westminster government, got to be scrutinised and approved by Westminster directly.
That's right. Section 35.
Section 5, Section 8, Section 12. You fucking name it. There's a get out clause in the law, David.
Wonderful.
Specifically, Section 3, Section 5, Section 8, Section 13, Section 30, Section 35, Section 36, Section 37, Section 38, Section 40, Section 43, and there's 83 sections.
Do we think that really it is time that I'm not going to do the time for independence thing, but you not feel it's time that people of Scotland were aware of all this nonsense that's been
But then there's an education programme on what these fucking things were, like the Calman Commission, the Smith Commission, the 1998 Scotland Act, the 2012 Scotland Act, the 2016 Scotland Act. It's about time that people were actually educated on what these fucking things are.
No, but it comes down to the people of Scotland are not interested. If it doesn't start off with the theme tune for EastEnders or Coronation Street, forget it. It's to do with politics. I don't do politics. Yeah, you fucking do politics. You live in this world, and the stuff that's coming out from Westminster is making your life harder and harder and harder. And you get less and less money in your pocket because you don't do politics. You fucking buffoon.
That's 2 in a row, Davey. That's no bad. We'll be giving you lessons shortly. You might get it right.
I'm just angry about it. I really am. Sorry.
I don't blame you. And but while we're on fucking anti-democratic things and ignoring the will of the people, I see Lammy's went to ground after a disgusting statement last week in the Parliament, or earlier this week in the Parliament, and of course, Starmer's continued crackdown on Palestine, what they would call pro-Palestine protest, what you and I would call anti-genocide protest.
Right,
but at the same time, we watched the light touch policing of right-wing riot in Epping, while the jackboots went on peaceful fucking protesters in London, Glasgow, Edinburgh, and Aberdeen. Fucking no real. So the right-wing fucking rioters are getting asked to behave themselves nicely, while the peaceful protesters are being thrown the fucking pokey.
No, but also, as you pointed out the other day there, the hotels where refugees are kept, right? Asylum seeker, call them what you like, right? It's like you had pro-asylum seeker protesters, and you had anti-asylum seeker protesters being kindly put together by the Metropolitan Police just outside Dartford Tunnel. What do we make of that, Mr. McGuinness? Do we think that was a really nice thing to do?
No.
Do you think that was sensible to do? Do you not think it was maybe a way of getting both sides locked up?
Well, anyway, because what the people doing that road don't seem to realise is what the people doing that road don't seem to realise is they've been egged into their civil liberties being curtailed, and they don't get it. But so Larry the Cat, fantastic. You have competition now, Mr. McGuinness. If that's a competition, Larry, I'm safe. Although I have to say, Reagan Elite's getting no bad at it. So, Lammy's went to ground. The anger about the UK's ongoing complicity in this genocide is rising.
Well, I mean, the other day there, the other day there, I thought I didn't know where Akrotiri was at the time, actually the location of it, right? And you look it up on Google Earth, right? And you find it's not very easy to find because eventually you have to zoom into it to the point where it comes up. And it's the southern end of the island, somewhere as that, and it's like there's helicopters and all sorts going into it. They all have nondescript names, nondescript numbers, but you know for a fact these are military vehicles, flying vehicles that they have, right? And certainly the spy planes that I believe in Akrotiri and going for a surveillance mission up through Gaza, they are not marked. They might be. They won't have what's it they call it their things. They won't have the thing switched on that identifies the airplane, right? Because they're spy plane.
The transponder.
Yeah, transponder. That's the word.
Obviously, David, you're not very observant because I'm looking at you with absolute puzzlement and how we got to civil unrest in the UK, fucking RAF Akrotiri.
Yeah.
I don't know where the jump came from there. Did I miss the inroad there?
Yeah, because we're talking about the things that happen regarding Britain's involvement in Gaza.
No, I wasn't. I was talking about the unrest of the people over Britain's involvement.
Same time you look at.
I was going to move on to the UN rapporteur.
Yeah.
Who is new? No, the special rapporteur for Gaza.
Yeah.
She's now moved on to attacking corporations for complicity as well. You know, so
one can imagine the board of Leonardo's in Edinburgh, if they were to be polled, asked, "Do you support Israel?" Well, of course we do. Yes, one of our main customers and all the rest of it, right? We like the idea that they are killing lots of people in Gaza that are innocent and can't fight back themselves. Sorry, I'm starting on the fucking rant mode again. Stop it, Mulligan. Right? Anyway.
Right. No, you rant if you want. It's just you're going to have to get some rhythm into it.
Aye, true.
You're going to have to get some rhythm into it. Young Reagan Elite start to pick up a rhythm. That's competition. You need practice. Get up to that bathroom mirror and start shouting at yourself. Nah, no bad, David. You're getting there right. This next one is a big story, folks. And this one's got Keir Starmer shitting himself. And that is today it's announced that Corbyn and Sultana are going to launch that party.
Yeah.
And it's going to be launched a wee bit later this year at a conference as its inaugural event. Now, they're encouraging people and communities to get involved and get signed up and to attend the conference. Because
I've got-
on the conference agenda,
Got a cracking saying for him. Corbyn and Sultana raising the new party.
it's narcissistic behaviour, the terrorists calling the peaceful terrorists. Absolutely correct, Mr. E. You're not going to get an argument with David and I about that one.
Yes. Keep them coming.
Fantastic.
These are brilliant, absolutely brilliant, right? We've got a cracking new one for you later on, but that's later on.
Yeah, I know David's anxious because he brought this one up to me. So
I mean,
it's catching the fantasticness, the Two Davies. Aye, it is catching. It is, Larry. But it's about being right when you rant.
Yeah.
Because if you rang and you rant, you just look like a fucking idiot. Right, see, but this is a big one. Corbyn and Sultana, they're going to bring this thing to pass and bring it into fruition this year. Before the Scottish election next year, will they stand? I don't know. Depends on how much interest they'll get off the border here and how much money they can raise. But as the trade unions have said they'll back them, it's fucking possible.
That's right. Money speaks volumes. Especially talking about the money that's going to come from trade unions.
Who are abandoning Labour in the growth.
So therefore, the Labour, as a UK government, are not going to have the money to actually fight against the JCP. And we don't know what its name is, so it's a Jeremy Corbyn party alone. I would keep it the Jeremy Corbyn because I think, in actual fact, that'll carry well with the country.
Well, look at the size of his momentum movement, for fuck's sake.
Yeah.
No, it was massive. It added an extra 300,000 people to the Labour Party.
I'm talking about England.
Aye.
Right.
Aye. But you see, this is a massive story. And it'll have Starmer shitting himself. Really shitting himself. The question we've got to ask, is it going to hand the keys to number 10 to Farage? Or can Corbyn outshine Farage and overtake him? Because one thing's for sure, the Tories and Labour are dead.
Yeah.
They're done. They're washed up.
And Andrew Neil, the journalist that we love to hate, said to the deputy chap in Reform, he said, "You're a bunch of amateurs."
Oh, they're a bunch of amateurs. I mean, they've got a Department of Roads to save money, and the 19-year-old leader of the council doing that fucking road is needing 180 to 200,000 to hire political advisors because he hasn't got a Scooby what he's saying.
That's right. Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Sorry for laughing there. Well, you were the comment I saw was anus, the itch that can't be scratched. Oh, yeah, lovely.
He's all got wee short arms and horns. But Larry the Cat came away a crack on that video he did in support of you and me. Where the Palestine action thing when that boy reported this to YouTube. By the way, folks, just so you know, we're almost a weekend now. YouTube don't seem to be interested. Scottish police don't seem to be interested in what the guys in the say either.
Sorry, it'll go quiet in a minute. Should be.
Did we know of a conversation about that after my show this morning?
Yeah, well, I wasn't expecting a phone call.
There was a cold caller will say that to you. But sometimes you've got your phone available in case of a family emergency, David, as you know.
Yeah.
And it's one of the things about live programs.
Anyway, right. And on.
Right, anyway, Corbyn has said that the political system is rigged against the people. Corporations and the 1% are just skimming the top. And he wants to change things. So
But
this could be even better interesting.
Thing is, though, in England, a lot of people have been that screwed, their minds have been that screwed with, right, that they don't know they've been screwed with. They think it was their idea that, oh, Corbyn's anti-Semitic. They don't know Corbyn was anti-Semitic. They haven't a clue. Or just, no, he's not. We know that. Right. But they were just, they were assuming, oh, it was their idea, their own idea. Oh, Corbyn's definitely anti-Semitic.
David, you and I have been around long enough to have seen most of Corbyn's career.
Yeah.
I mean, when they needed somebody reasonable to send to talk to the IRA, who did they send? Corbyn, and then called him a fucking terrorist collaborator later.
But the one thing I didn't like about Corbyn was that most of these things were, well, let's get consensus on that. You know, he's now showing a wee bit of steel now. He's showing a wee bit of backbone, which is good.
The other thing is, if he can win down that road, he said he'll give us a fucking referendum.
Yeah, this thing that the Zara has done, I fear that 2029 will be a Farage-led establishment. Not one. See, if Jeremy Corbyn gets the whole of things, you could find that Jeremy Corbyn is your next Prime Minister. Wow.
Within the Conservative Party, within the Labour Party, hang on, and within Reform, actually, I think you're absolutely correct there. They are selected. They're selected by the state. In this case, Farage is the agitator. He brings in the existing system to let them build a system which is more authoritarian.
Yeah. Yeah.
And as we've seen today, the papers are helping to spur that on, with Starmer being part of it. We haven't expected a summer of unrest. What's he talking about? Peaceful protesters being jackbooted by fucking coppers. And of course, that headline today, David, neo-Nazis to organise protests at asylum hotels, as they call them, right across the UK. David, I'm allowed to run. I'm a master. I've got certificates for this shit. And I've got rid of them.
Yeah, I've got to learn the rhythm thing. That's important.
But the main thing is, this is a big shake-up in the political establishment. It will be an interesting one to watch. Will it keep north of the border? I don't really know if that sort of socialism still.
Well, Jeremy Corbyn keep north of the border. That's potential. That is.
Aye, but will his party be successful here? I don't know if that style of politics is still a thing here in Scotland.
Well, I've got to say, we have. I know it's something that's not practically possible, right? But it would be nice if we could actually put in front of the people of Scotland, do you want independence in 2026? That would be sensible.
What would be interesting is if he wins in 2029, but needs to get into a coalition with somebody, and the nearest to his politics would be the SFP.
Absolutely.
That would be interesting.
I'm going, fascist. Right, okay.
It's not, but he's already worked for the SNP, him and his 5 independents in that parliament down that road. So unlike Labour and Tory, he is willing to work with the SNP. Yeah. And a 4-way union is split up here would be good for us.
Yeah.
Right, this one's just for you, David. And at number 9 we have, you tell them what his new Scottish name is.
Tumshi Trump. What is a Tumshi? A Tumshi is the top of a carrot. The top of a carrot, which is orange in colour, right? And it's like the top of a carrot, top slice of it.
Up your spanner.
Yeah, that's right. No, you know it's a turnip. I know it's a carrot. It's a carrot.
Oh, okay, whatever.
In my neck of the woods in Glasgow, a tumshi was always the top end of a carrot. And if you look at the
colour, was what I used to carve my fucking lantern out at Halloween.
The carrot is, what colour is the carrot? The carrot is orange. Whereas
the interesting thing about it is the turnip's more orange, you know.
Right. Are we getting into the thing here where we can't agree on the colour of shite? Right.
No. We're disagreeing about vegetables, actually.
Trump, the name, Tumshi Trump is beautiful.
Oh, it works, aye. Anyway, that works, Tumshi Trump. Anyway, he tells us all in a major announcement about the future of AI that the US invented the whole fucking world, David.
Exciting, man. Yes.
And that the US invented everything. Television, telephone, everything.
Yeah. And the truth of the matter is, is that Scotland invented the 20th and 21st century. And given the opportunity and independence, we'll invent 22nd and the 23rd.
Aye.
Right?
So, what's interesting is Trump should have used AI, because then he'd have discovered that Scotland fucking actually invented America.
Yeah.
Because the idea of the Constitution for America came from George Washington's trip to Scotland, where he realised Scotland was everything but everything. Scotland was a republic in all but name.
Yeah.
And he went away back and he sat down with some Scottish scholars and the other founding fathers and produced the American Constitution based on the Declaration of Rights as its founding document.
Now, let's not be wrong with this, right? America did invent some amazing things. No arguments there. Just like a lot of other countries did, right?
Yep.
But when somebody says they invented everything, then people just laugh at them. And more worryingly for the people in the USA, that then reflects on their country, their state, whatever, right? Okay. Make America great again? Fuck off. Don't be daft.
It was never great in the first fucking place.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you looking at your notes.
Yeah, at the end of the day, it's like you look at it. Yeah, America. At one time in business, you had the thing of where if America catches a cold, the rest of the world catches a flu, right? And that was true. That was absolutely true in terms of business because a lot of the control, owning the reserve currency and all the rest of it, there was a great degree of way of business being controlled by that. I'm talking internationally, right? Now we've got a situation where America is being laughed at because of what Tom C. Trump is putting in front of people. And these words that he speaks from a podium are not driven by an AI.
No, because he'd have known Scotland invented the 20th and 21st century.
We're finding that there's a lot of things that have come from Trump where being laughed at, and that reflects on the people of the USA. Sorry about that, guys, but it's true. Get rid of the bastard and elect somebody properly, then maybe, take a while though, maybe we can consider you as being an ally once again, because at the moment you definitely are not allies.
Peter M says America invented the spray tan. Right, David, we've only got 7 minutes left, and this next one is quite important because it's totally not being reflected in Western media, and that is that Netanyahu's hanging on by his fingernails.
Yeah,
his coalition has fallen to bits, and he's only got 50 representatives in the Knesset now.
Yeah, last week this thing about the getting people to join the army. All people, all Jews, all Israel, all people living in Israel to join the army is something that a number of people got rid of, and the numbers went down to within their own parliament, where Netanyahu's side controlled only 61 out of 120 seats.
Right, down to 50.
And it's down to 50 now,
yep.
Right? And it's like that.
He's
then
the minority government, and he's hanging on by his fingernails.
Yeah, that then means somebody has just got to put a lack of confidence, confidence vote in Netanyahu, and he's gone. He's gone.
He is bringing that, but here, remember, he's still operating under emergency powers as well because there's still a war.
That can
now,
easily.
David, here's the interesting part. We'll tell people the facts that they're not getting. How did he get to the point where he's hanging on to his fingernails? Well, it's go to David, Orthodox Jews.
Yeah.
Folks, Orthodox Jews had an agreement only to provide 6% of young men and women to the IDS. Because Orthodox Jews were given immunity for joining the IDS if they were studying the Torah, which in the Israeli state is considered to be just as valuable as serving in the military. Now, the reason why the coalitions fell a bit is because the Supreme Court just passed a law to say, no, Orthodox Jews will do the same time in the military as anybody else. They can study the Torah before or after the kibbutz.
Yeah, just having mentioned that about the courts, also the courts have got to the point, the end of the piece of string, where they're going, now we need you in here so you answer some of these problems, some of these things that we've got, right? And that's bad news for Netanyahu. He's going to end up in prison. He's going to end up in prison. In actual fact, I would say that if we look at people that have killed a large degree of people under their control, talk about Iraq, talk about Saddam, he end up hung. Yeah.
Yeah, apparently Reagan Lee called this in his programme as well. The fact that Netanyahu's government's 40 bits. Anybody see it in the news? Anybody see it in the newspapers?
No.
So for those of you who don't watch that many other YouTubers, you've heard it here first.
Yeah.
Because this is not being told. This story is not being told in the Western media. There it is. Israel is near collapse. The military's run out of manpower. The society's fractured and breaking down, especially now. And the international community is starting to lose its patience slowly. Too fucking slowly.
Well, what I'm going to say is, it's a good thing that Lamy has gone to fucking ground, because seemingly every time he got up to speak in the House of Commons, a plane takes off from Akrotiri to get more surveillance of the
so that's how we managed to get down that rabbit hole in the last segment, was it? Brilliant, David. Now, thank you very much. That sort of clears things up for me and the viewers. Now we get where the tenuous link was coming from, because you're right, we were talking about Lamy going to ground.
Yeah,
well done. Hey,
brain cells sometimes do a handshake, right? You have to understand it's like it can be a very light handshake times, so be careful of that. Right? Good brain though.
Even I have seen some of the Modi Hassan video stuff, and it's really, really good. It is. Political Edge, Big Man Studios covered it as well. David, if you don't know what that is, look it up. It's on YouTube. It's a lecture. It's Mehdi Hassan takes on right wingers in America. It's fucking hilarious. It really is.
Do you want to know something? Right wingers in America, I've seen it, done it, bought the t-shirt. I really don't need to see any more of them. They're fucking buffoons, simple as that. Right? These people don't realise actually what's going on in this world.
I've one better than that, David. They really don't realise how stupid they are before they sit down in front of Mehdi. Because he makes every single one of them look a fucking idiot.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong, the sort of people who are throwing up to sit down and talk to him, they weren't the sharpest candles in the sharpest pencils in the box,
Yeah.
They certainly weren't. Anyway, folks, thanks very much for tuning in today once again in huge numbers. The live numbers here are brilliant.
Sorry about the rounds, guys. It's not my style, not usually, but there's some things.
If you've got to let it go.
I feel really, really angry about some things. Yeah.
Aye, we all do. You
and I
are lucky enough to have a platform to let it happen.
Our beautiful Scotland and our people are being taken for a fucking ride, and we need to learn this fast and do whatever's necessary to get away from the union.
David, do you know what? I don't think we even have to try that hard anymore. I think English people break it up before anybody else.
And I'm not relying on the English folk to do anything.
No.
Because I used to live in England, and I knew people whereby they didn't know their bloody neighbour was.
Right, aye, true. Now, folks, hit the like button on the way out the door. Up to you whether you share or not. Thanks very much to the moderators. Apparently, we're 9 likes away from 100. We're 150 still sitting on the page, so please, 9 of you hit as a like, will you?
Yeah.
And Sir Larry loved your rants, David. So there you go.
Gingers, be careful on how you regard me. I am angry at what's going on with America, but you have to understand that I am aware that is Americans, you need to get rid of Tumshi Trump.
And end up with Vance, come on.
No, get rid of Tumshi Trump and everybody that's round about him.
Aye. Right, 1700, David. I've got work to do tonight. I'm making my boots polished and get a cup of coffee out of my heat and get my bahookie out of the road and get it done.
Yeah, well, I need to go and get some food because I've had nothing to eat so far today.
I know you were saying after the programme you're starting to lag a wee bit.
Yeah. Right.
Right, guys. Thanks very much.
And thank you guys for joining us. We're always amazed at the amount of you actually come on and join us and support us by doing so, right? And it's wonderful.
And support our communities.
Yes, that's right.
And, I mean, I hope the content we're putting out is just as important as the work that we do as a community.
Yes.
We hope it helps to inform you. We hope it entertains you. You know.
Yeah.
And but the inform you and entertain you is very important, as well as the other works that the channel's been able to undertake thanks to you guys.
Yeah.
So big applause to yourselves, audience.
Yes.
And so, Larry, thank you for your.
It's on the image of the camera that's rolling around. Take right hand, place between shoulder blades, and pat twice.
There you go. And so, Larry, thank you very much for your support for the Mr. Anderson situation. That was lovely. And to the other YouTubers who brought it up on their channels. Okay.
Yeah, again, be careful. If any of you get any anger towards Mr. Anderson, do not. He's just one of a number of idiots.
Idiots that David and I have had to deal with through the years.
Yeah.
And I dare say there'll be a few more before we're finished, my friend.
Yes, definitely.
We've still got a fair bit of damage to fucking do yet.
John Tony will be cursing us up and down by the time I'm finished with him.
He's already doing that, I can assure you. Fucking dummies out the pram. But I'm sure John and I and you can kiss and make up as soon as he's out the fucking door. Right. Okay.
Tumshi Trump is the new name for President of the United States, right? Okay.
Right. Tumshi, David's renamed him.
I haven't renamed. There was somebody else that renamed them. I've just picked up on a name, so be careful. I don't want to take the wind at end sails. But we need something for Swinney. Swinney, something like that. It's got to be. You know what I mean?
No, I'm not going down that road, David.
Well,
you can go down that road, but while I'm writing it, I'm not writing that.
Swinney the Ninny.
Right, we're out of here, folks. For 3 minutes, I'll be walking away.
Swinney the
Bye, David.
Right, bye-bye. All right. Bye guys.